Hey, so I just shot this whole video pointing the camera in the wrong effing direction. So here's my remake. On continuing on with the subject of the wrath of God. What I was trying to say is that basically the connotation of wrath in the emotional human sense implies uncontrolled, whereas the wrath of God, as we ought to understand it, the wrath of Allah God would be very precise, very much derived and calculated. The most just, in spite of perhaps the appearances of it. I'm not a psychoanalyst professionally, but I would guess that much of this cultural connotation of the wrath of God is a result of parental discipline, is a result of our growing up, having breached familial or parental rules. That's the item that should be removed from the terminology in terms of the wrath of God. That's the item that ought to be removed, is this idea that it's an emotional wrath. It's more of a disruption of like a wavelength. That would be a closer way of thinking of it. Hang on. So when you read in scriptures things like God became angry, it's all over the place in the Abrahamic tradition. If you look at it in the parental uncontrollable sense, it's sort of a ancient way of looking at God as totally random and chaotic. Just sometimes God is angry and sometimes that volcano explodes. There's no explanation. That is no longer needed. And there is enough knowledge to know basically the second tier of this, which is that the wrath of God is actually extremely purposeful and a driving force behind creation, as creation with destruction. So